1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
No matter how positive someone may seem to be on the outside, behind the scenes could be a completely different story. A lot of people are good at hiding it, but in the long run, it makes it worse for their health. Depression is a very serious yet common disease. It can have such a negative impact on someone's life, also not even that person's life, but the people around them, friends, family, neighbors. According to the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance, depression affects as many as 17.3 million Americans a year. To me, that's a lot. I'm going to tell you about some of the symptoms, risk factors, and different types of depression that there are. But first, let's start off with, what is depression? Depression is a mood disorder that causes a constant feeling of sadness and loss of interest. The way you feel, think, and behave can be altered in a detrimental way. All of this can eventually lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. First thing to do is to realize if you have any symptoms of depression. The symptoms can range from changes in appetite and/or weight, feeling of hopelessness, irritability, loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies or activities, and as well as thoughts of death or suicidal attempts. Knowing and being aware of your symptoms is great help for a doctor to try to help diagnose your depression, if or so you have it. Starting with a few different types of depressions is postpartum depression, which is a type that mainly affects women. Problems throughout a pregnancy or giving birth are the main causes for postpartum. National Institute of Mental Health says that women will have feelings of extreme sadness, anxiety, and exhaustion that accompany postpartum depression. It makes it difficult for mothers to complete daily care activities and for themselves and their babies. Now, For example, of postpartum depression, my sister-in-law gave birth about 3 years ago. They had a hard time with her C-section, and the cut they made was wrong. My sister-in-law felt the whole procedure, and due to that, she went into such a deep depression that she didn't even want to see her own baby. My mother-in-law had to go and stay with her for a long period of time, up until my sister-in-law was able to finally take care of her baby on her own. Now, luckily, she is doing just fine. Persistent depressive disorder, also known as dysthymia, is a type of depressant that lasts for at least 2 years. According to MayoClinic.org, though persistent depressive disorder is not as severe as major depression, your current depressed mood may be mild, moderate, or severe. With dysthymia, you may find it hard to even be upbeat, even on a happy occasion. Major depression episodes may occur before or during dysthymia, which can be called double depression. Dysthymia can also be seen in children. Children will have symptoms that include a depressed mood or irritability. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, dysthymia affects approximately 1.5% of the adult population in the United States. 49.7% of these cases are considered severe, and the average age of onset is 31 years. One of the major depressions is called psychotic depression. Psychotic depression causes people to hallucinate as well as have false fixed beliefs. According to PsychGuides.com, approximately 1% of the population suffers from psychotic depression. It is most commonly found in people in their late teens to early 30s and affect men and women equally. A risk factor is something that increases a person's chances of developing a disease. Common risk factors that can cause depression are related to diabetes, cancer, disease, Parkinson's, And some of the mental illnesses can also be affected from things such as environmental, psychological, genetics, and biological. Now, on the brighter side of this is that there's hope for people with depression. Hope being that there's treatments. First, there's treatment in the form of medication. We have SSRIs, SNRIs, MAIOs, atypical antidepressants, tricyclic antidepressants, all in which help out your depression. And if you don't want to go on the side of medication, there's always therapy. You can try psychotherapy, electroconvulsive, transcranial magnetic stimulation. All in all, if you know of anybody that needs or has depression or has any issues, there is always help. You can always call a hotline